eve- Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and dear guests. A very warm welcome to the online joint meeting of Eloquent Elites Toastmasters and Eloquent Elites Gavel Club. I am Gavelier Sara Verdekar. I am the Sergeant at Arms for today's meeting. In the online meeting environment, there are a few housekeeping policies that we request everyone to follow. 1. Please rename yourself as follows. This will help the Zoom master Anika Kohli to spotlight people appropriately. All Toastmasters, please prefix the name with TM. All Gaveliers, please add the prefix GAV full stop to your name. All role players, please also add your role first before your name. You can look up at the Zoom chat for reference regarding this naming convention. Please take a few seconds for this activity. Second, switch off your phones or any noise-making devices and remove any other distractions around you. Third, please keep your audio on mute throughout the meeting and unmute your microphone just whenever you're invited to speak. Fourth, please keep your video cameras on as a mark of respect to speakers, just as you will be present in a physical meeting so the speaker can see your face. Fifth, please remember to switch off your video camera when you need to step away in order to avoid distractions. Sixth, please avoid unnecessary movements or sipping on drinks or eating if your video is on. Please remember to turn off your video in case you need to do so. Seventh, you can choose and display from reactions a high five, a namaste, or an applause when office bearers are introduced. This is a very important occasion, and I request everyone to be positive and appreciative. I'm very happy to present the mission of Toastmasters. We provide a supportive and positive learning experience in which members are empowered to develop communication and leadership skills, resulting in greater self-confidence and personal growth. You may note that on the agenda, the presiding officer of the day is Dr. Sukanya Iyer. She could not join as she's held up in an important meeting. Toastmaster Girija Deshpande, VP Education of the club, will be presiding officer today. She is a writer, blogger, YouTuber, and soft skills trainer. Over to you, presiding officer, Toastmaster Girija Deshpande.
A wonderful, warm welcome from you, Sergeant at Arms Sara Verdekar. I really appreciate that. Very warm welcome, fellow Toastmasters, Cavaliers, and dear guests. Like Sara said, unfortunately, our president is held up in a meeting, and so she could not join. And so I here double up along with the Toastmaster of the day role as a presiding officer. As presiding officer, I call the meeting to order. We shall pass the agenda first before we move on with the proceedings. I got the directive from the district that we need not have a proposer and a seconder to pass the agenda. So the minor changes only in the presiding officer. The rest of the changes are already incorporated in the agenda that has been shared with you. So before we move on with the proceedings, I declare the agenda passed. We adopt this agenda with the change that is notified. So welcome to the 53rd meeting of Eloquent Elites Toastmasters Club and Eloquent Elites Gavel Club. I extend a hearty welcome to special invitee Toastmasters who are performing significant roles as evaluators. We are very honored to have amidst us as general evaluator, Toastmaster Atul Srivastava. Our special thanks to speech evaluator, Toastmaster Colonel Sumit Arya, and grammarian, distinguished Toastmaster Renosh Thomas for taking up the role at the last minute. Today, we have with us our district area director, Vittal Madival, Toastmaster, who is a passionate Toastmaster since 2015. He has served various capacities as club leadership like president, vice president education, treasurer, and now he's an area director. And he is with us as today for the official area director visit. Welcome, sir. Thank you so much for joining us. He has completed ACB ALB education program of earlier Toastmasters curriculum. The Advanced Communicator Bronze, Advanced Leadership Bronze. That is what it is. And now he is pursuing presentation mastery in the Pathway Education program. Really appreciate your guidance. We look forward to the rest of the meeting. I extend a hearty welcome to the special invitee Toastmasters. We are very honored to have amidst us all of you. Toastmasters truly connects the world. We have member Toastmaster Pranay Goyal from London, and I am now joining you from Chicago. There is Toastmaster from Vijayalakshmi from Texas. Now I switch over to my role as Toastmaster of the day. The theme today is youth, energy and synergy. The moment you think of youth, what comes to your mind is only energy, right? There is so much of enthusiasm. August 12th is declared as the International Youth Day by United Nations, and it was done in the year 2020, 23 years ago. And India, we celebrate our Youth Day on January 12th, the birthday of Swami Vivekananda. And youth are the fountainhead of our life. They are the lifeblood of a nation, lifeblood of the world. They are the backbone of the society. They are the aspiration and hope for tomorrow. So we are very happy to have this theme. And that is why you have here all of us floating on the cloud, because we believe that sky is the limit for the youth. If they set their mind to it and if they're focused, a lot can be achieved. So with this wonderful theme, we will proceed with the meeting. And as we proceed, we'll have some small interactions with each other on the theme that will enable us to understand how energy and synergy can happen between the youth and the rest of the population in the world, infants as well as adults, and how we can make the world a better place for everybody. So here we have today, before we proceed, I will just explain the meeting structure. You know, the meeting has divided into 3 parts. The first part is the prepared speeches. And in the prepared speeches, we have got 2 prepared speeches today, and we have got evaluators. And to support those prepared speeches and that they happen well, we have got general evaluator, grammarian, accounter, and timer. And they will briefly explain their roles as I call upon them. Then the second part of the meeting is table topic session, where the guests as well as the members can speak on topics that are given to them impromptu, to speak off the cuff. Though the table topic master of the day will conduct that particular session. Then the third session will be handled by our general evaluator, Toastmaster Atul Srivastava, who is a special invitee, and he will handle the entire team of grammarian, accounter, and get their reports, grammarian, accounter, timer, their reports, and see that the meeting goes as per the guideline. And at the end, he will give us his valuable input as to how the meeting went on and how we could improve. So now we proceed with the first part of the meeting, that is the prepared speeches. Now, Toastmaster Atul Srivastava is a freelance management systems expert in safety, health, and quality. He spread over 38 years of experience in a very large world-class oil and gas associated organization in India and Qatar. He loves to instill scientific temperament in people's minds. He's a well-accomplished table tennis player, a yoga and meditation practitioner, a photographer, and avid globetrotter. I request Toastmaster Atul Srivastava, our general evaluator, to describe his role. Over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Girija, and good evening, good day, good night, good morning, wherever you are in the world, all of you. It's my privilege and honor to be with all elite Toastmasters Club members and all Eloquent elite Gavel Club members, and spend my quality time with you all. As many of you are aware, and maybe for the benefit of guests, I will like to reiterate why the evaluation segment of Toastmasters is very important. As you know, the Toastmasters backbone is the feedback. There is no coaches, there are no paid tutors here. When a prepared speaker speaks something, then he may not know his strengths all the time. He or she may not know his or her weaknesses. And it is the listeners like you and me who pinpoint the strengths and weaknesses, or the strengths and the areas of improvement. And that is what we exactly do in the evaluation session, which I am heading. Now, to help me assess how well the speakers spoke, how well the meeting went, I am assisted by three monitors whom we call as grammarian, R counter, and the timer, because the meeting has to go in a structured way, as Toastmaster Girija has explained. To help me, I am assisted by a tag team. We fondly call it tag team, timer, R counter, and grammar. I will now like to invite my grammarian, distinguished Toastmaster Reynolds Thomas, to come forward and tell what his role is as a grammarian to help all the members and guests who will be speaking to utilize the opportunity that we offer through grammarian show. Toastmaster Reynolds Thomas.
Thank you, General Evaluator. Good evening to distinguished Toastmasters, to all the fellow Toastmasters here, and to the Gaveliers and guests. So, as grammarian, it is my responsibility to pay close attention to all the speakers, listening carefully to their language usage. I'll also take note of any misuses of the English language, as well as any outstanding words, quotes, sayings, or thoughts. Now, as a grammarian, it is also my duty to introduce the word of the day. And for that, I'm going to share you my screen so all of you can note it down, and I will also put it in the chat box shortly. The word of the day, since we're celebrating the Youth Day for today, is a verb which is rejuvenate. Rejuvenate. The word rejuvenate comes from the Latin word re, which means again, and juvenize, which means young. It literally means to make young again. In a more general sense, what it means is to make something fresh, new, or invigorated. Now, let me tell you some of the meanings of it. It can mean to make it look or feel younger. It can also mean restore its strength or vitality. Another meaning to rejuvenate is to give it a new lease of life. And one more, make it more modern or up to date. Some of the examples where you can use rejuvenate in your speech today or in your talk today will be: the vacation rejuvenated her spirits. The new haircut rejuvenated her appearance. The company's new CEO has rejuvenated the organization. Now, before I wrap up this and hand it over to the general evaluator, I would like to share you something that I did as quick research today. The word rejuvenate, as you know, which means to be feeling younger. Let me share you how it was used over time. If you can see on the screen, in the 1800s, it was barely used. Whereas if you see in 2019, the growth of the use of rejuvenate has substantially grown. Can we make a record today in 2023, August 12, to take this graph even further? Let us all make use of this word rejuvenate. And at the end of the meeting, I'll be called to give a report, and I'll give my report at that time when called to do so. Over to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you, Toastmaster Reynolds, for wonderfully introducing your role. And I'm sure as the meeting progresses, we all will feel rejuvenated throughout this meeting. My next member in the tag team is the timer, Gavalier Aditya Varlekar. May I request Gavalier Aditya to please come forward and introduce his role as a timekeeper.
Thank you, General Evaluator. Today we have two prepared speeches. For all speech projects, the duration is 5 to 7 minutes. The screen will be showing timekeeper, as you can see here. My job is to keep track of time and ensure that all speakers speak according to their limits. Once the speech reaches 5 minutes, the screen will change to green and remain green. At 6 minutes, the screen will change to yellow, and at 7 minutes, it will change to red. Thank you. Back to you.
Thank you, Cavalier Aditya, for introducing your role. And before every speaker starts speaking, may I request you to remind them to check whether they are able to see the flipping of various colors or not before they start speaking.
Of course.
And the third person on my tag team is Cavalier Prisha as account. May I request Cavalier Prisha to please come forward and introduce the role of our counter.
Thank you, Toastmaster Day and General Evaluator. Greetings, fellow Toastmasters and guests. My duty as our counter is to listen attentively to each speaker and make a note of the following used by the speaker. The crutch sounds um, filler words but, so, like, then, tell, basically, absolutely, seriously, etc. Filler phrases, you know, you see, I mean, etc. When called upon, I will give a report of these speaking errors. This report will help cure speakers of the annoying habit of vocalized pauses and getting rid of filler words. This role will help me develop self-awareness and I will notice the fillers I use often too. Over to you.
Thank you, Cavalier Prisha, for wonderfully introducing your role. And I'm sure the report by my tag team will rejuvenate with their performances, with the performance of various speakers. Apart from the help that I will get from these tag team members, I will also get help from the two evaluators who will evaluate the prepared speakers. They will be silently noting down the strengths and areas of improvement, and you will see how they give the feedback during the evaluation session. I will also assess the overall performance of the meeting, the various role players who are steering various segments, such as prepared speech round by Toastmaster Girija, then table topics master, table topic session will be by the table topics master, and of course the evaluation session will be led by me. So with these words, I wish everybody here the very best during this meeting titled Youth, Energy and Synergy. I'm sure everyone will feel rejuvenated throughout this meeting. Over to you, Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Girija.
Before I let you go, I have a question. Looking at the theme and your interest in developing scientific temperament, what is your one advice for the youth? What should they do to cultivate this scientific temperament?
Good. Never let your wow feeling die. If you have an experience in life which is new, you feel, you have a wow factor. Maybe you are very busy to pursue it further. Maybe you have noticed a phenomenon. When I was a child, I used to wonder why the sky is blue. I used to wonder how come the stars are hanging in the air, why they are not falling down. I used to wonder how the light, when it comes through a slab of glass, how it gets refracted, how it changes its path. And I never got the answers. But then I used to note down my queries. And at the right time, when I got the right teacher, right professor, right books, I used to explore more thoughts about it. And sometimes I used to say, okay, can I change a particular device in an innovative way? Can I make certain procedure more productive? And that's how now I am a quality management, safety management, and environment management expert. I use those innovative thoughts to improve the way we work, our safety procedures so that there are least injuries, the way we drive, the defensive driving. No, so people think inventions is all about products. No, you can develop innovative way of working, and that is called in Japanese term the Kaizen effect. You can you can plan the whole day in such a way that the wastage of time is minimum. That is also a way of arousing the scientific temperament. Scientific
Thank you.
temperament is nothing about time and management. So don't let your wow factor die. Note it and pursue it. Over to you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Our distinguished Toastmaster Enosh Thomas is a founder of St. Paul's Toastmaster Academy and Gavel Club in Bahrain. 21 years of telecom experience in India and Middle East he has got. I would love him to talk about the youth, how they can contribute to a happier world. How can they bring about rejuvenation in our everyday life with whom they interact? Just 2 or 3 sentences, please. Thank you. Over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Day. When you began to say for me to talk, I can go on this subject for more than an hour. But since you told us 2 to 3 sentences, I need to really concise the entire universe onto a single atom. When I say that entire universe into a single atom is what I meant, the youth capacity. The capacity that the youth of today has is mind-boggling. The one thing that I would say to the youth of today is do not limit your capacity. You might have doubts, you might have questions, you might have fears. You are the leaders of tomorrow. Do not fear to ask questions. When I was young in my school days, I asked questions. Maybe I was the one person, maybe teacher would be thinking, okay, there goes Rinosh. The next question comes again and again. So to the youth of today, you have immense potential, immense capacity. You are the world leaders of tomorrow. We are shaping you all there. Learn, grow, do not limit your capacity. Over to you, Toastmaster Day.
Thank you. Thank you so much. We had Prisha Chu, who was talking about her role as our counter. I have a question for you, Prisha. Suppose today is yes day. That is, your parents have to say yes to you only. Okay? What is the one thing that you will ask them for? Because I want to understand the mind of the youths. What is the one thing that you need so badly that you will ask them for? And they have to say yes.
Right now, nothing comes to my mind as such. But if I give it some thought, I would definitely ask them about, or maybe, actually, I'm not sure yet, because I have many questions in my mind. I can't pick
Not
one.
question. They have to say yes to you. So you will ask them for something. It's not asking a question for information. What will you ask them for? That I want this. What is it that you want?
I have no clue right now.
Nothing? Oh, I think before you think about it, your parents grant it. That is a maybe. Good. Yes, thank you. Now, timer Aditya, you explained the timing guidelines very clearly. And I have a question for you. What is the one book or film that has inspired you? I want to understand what is it that inspires young minds. What is one book or one film? I just want to know. want you to name it.
As
Toastmaster
of
Aditya.
now, yes, ma'am. So as of now, the film that comes to my mind first is The Matrix, a classic from the early 2000s. So
Why is it inspiring?
right. So I would say it, especially for when I watched it for the first time about 3 years ago when I was 14, the fact that nothing can be real in the movie, it is like the reality is actually false. You are living in a simulated world. So I
Yes.
believe that is a very interesting take on what we might be today. I don't believe we live in a simulation, but it's an interesting take. And that
Thank you.
how can we think about what is real and what is false? So it is an interesting thing to introspect about for me.
Thank you. Thank you. Now, we move on to the next section, that is the prepared speeches, right? So, I invite speech evaluator, Toastmaster Colonel Subita Arya, to present the speech objectives of the first speaker. Before that, I would just like to give a brief introduction. He comes with 26 years of experience in the Indian Army. He is VP Education of Reliance Industries Limited Toastmasters Club. With so much of profound experience that inspires all of us, I'm so very happy that he accepted the role at the last minute. Can you please read out the speech objectives of the first speaker?
Thank you, Toastmaster of the Day. And since the context of Swami Vivekanand came into being when you mentioned about the India's Youth Day and being celebrated with as 12th of January, so let me quote him as I introduce my speaker. He said, "Take risks in your life. If you win, you lead. If you lose, you may guide." That's the thought that he had for the youth. And today, the person that I'm evaluating is Toastmaster Harish Natarajan. He is going to be delivering an L2P3. That means he gets 5 to 7 minutes to deliver his speech. The speech is titled "My Mentor, My Maker." The purpose of the speech is for Toastmaster Harish Natarajan to share some aspects to rejuvenate a previous experience as a protege.
Thank
That is
you.
the purpose of the speech. Back to you, Toastmaster of the Day.
I have a question for you before you leave.
Sure.
One value that youngsters can learn from the military experience. One value.
I would have normally said discipline, sincerity, and such things, but what I could say today is uh, be sure of the box. We keep talking about thinking out of the box. Be sure of the box. A kite flies when it is attached to the string. You will go up, you will go high, you will rise, but you should know the box. And once you know the box, that is when you will be able to think beyond the box. That is my take for the moment. Thank you.
Thank you so much. A beautiful example of the kite. The moment you release the kite from the that is lost, then it cannot fly. So there is certain attachment that is required. Very well said. Thank you so much. Now we start with the speech session. The presentation. So on the path team collaboration, introduction to mentoring, that is level 2 path project 3 is what is being presented by Toastmaster Harish Natarajan. Toastmaster Harish Natarajan, my mentor, my maker. My mentor, my maker, Toastmaster Harish Natarajan. Over to you, Harish.
Toastmaster, before you begin, I would just like to ask if the timer is visible.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay. Good evening, Toastmasters of the Day, fellow Toastmasters, and guests. Canadian author Bob Proctor once rightly stated, a mentor is someone who sees more abilities and talents within you than you see in yourself and help bring it out for you. Today, I stand before you to share the profound impact of a mentor that I had during my engineering journey. Throughout our academic and professional pursuits, we often face difficulties and uncertainties. It is during these moments that having a mentor can be invaluable. During my time as an engineering student, I was fortunate enough to have an exceptional mentor, Dr. Swati Sinnaman. She used to teach us big data analytics and Internet of Things. At first, she looked like any simple, sincere teacher, dignified, prim, in a sari or salwar kameez, smiling eyes, but lips locked firmly so that students don't take her lightly. She had a clear, booming voice. She not only had a lot of technical knowledge, but also the unique ability to inspire and nurture growth. She used to emphasize on building skill sets apart from academic knowledge. She served as a beacon of wisdom, illuminating the path ahead and allowing me to scale new heights in my field of engineering. She not only supported me technically, but also emphasized the need to build certain skill sets. She emphasized me to develop skills such as perseverance, dedication. She taught us that failure is not a setback, but instead an opportunity to learn and grow more. Her belief in my abilities rejuvenated my strengths and boosted my confidence to scale new heights and explore uncharted territories in the field of engineering. She was not just a coach who made me an expert in certain skill. She was not just imparting knowledge so that I can ace in the examination. Instead, she shared her life experience without expecting any specific agenda. No one chose her to be my mentor or me as her mentee. It all evolved organically. There is a saying, when a student is ready, the teacher emerges. I guess the universe knew I was receptive to learn. That's the reason why the universe sent me such an exceptional mentor. Apart from supporting me academically, she also emphasized the need to build proper networking as well as soft skills. She emphasized on building a proper network within the industry, allowing us to connect with industry leaders whenever possible. She used to arrange weekly sessions from various industry leaders around the world so that we can connect with them and learn the latest developments as well as the setbacks and other failures along with the success stories which they have. She also encouraged me to pursue some extracurricular activities which would complement my engineering skills. During my hackathon, she supported me and guided me with the help of industry experts in solving the problem, which in turn led us to win the hackathon. Moving forward, throughout our mentorship journey, I gained a lot of experience in engineering and discovered my true passion in the field of artificial intelligence. The knowledge she imparted me allowed me to take problem statements which were challenging and put me in a difficult situation, leading me to solve problems and develop the problem solving skill, as well as to foster creativity. But perhaps the most important aspect of mentor-mentee relationship is the personal connection that we have. She used to take time to understand my fear, aspiration, and dreams. She ensured that I had a safe environment where I can discuss anything with her without the fear of getting judged. As time passed, the bond grew stronger. Today, I not only remember the knowledge that she imparted, but also the long conversations that we had about life and values. In conclusion, I would ask everyone to seek out mentors, for they can be catalysts to propel your growth. Having her as a mentor during my engineering was very transformative. I would like everyone to take up the role of a mentor whenever possible and share the knowledge and gift that we received as a prodigy. Thank you.
Thank you, Harish. That was wonderful. Taking us to the mentor, we got a picture of her. Now, as a young person, Harish, you have traveled a long way from being a student to an entrepreneur and also working in a startup. So the role of a mentor has been great. Thank you so much. And over to the next speaker. The next speaker for today is Abhishek Kumar, and his speech is being evaluated by Toastmaster Nisha Sanjeev. I request her to present the speech objectives of Abhishek Kumar's speech. Over to you, Nisha.
Thank you. Thank you, Toastmaster of the day. Good evening, everyone. Very nice topic for today. So let me just go to the object of the speak. The speaker today is Toastmaster Abhishek Kumar. He is attempting the Path Presentation Mastery. L3P1 is the project. The purpose of the project is for the member to understand the types of persuasive speeches and deliver a persuasive speech at a club meeting. The time, please note, is 5 to 7 minutes. I wish the speaker all the very best. Thank you. Over to you, Toastmaster.
Thank you, Toastmaster Nisha. I have a simple question for you. What is the one problem that the youth face today that we did not face when we were their age? When we were 18, the problem that we did not face? The youth today are facing. What is it that they did not face? The youth of 10 years before did not face.
Well, I think problems are a part of our life, and we, at different stages, all generations face problems. But I think one maybe not a problem, but an addiction that they face, which I think we did not, or the generation 10 years back did not face, is the mobile addiction. And that is, I think, the biggest problem in their lives.
Thank you. Thank you. And that is, I'm so amazed that you hit on the topic that our speaker is going to talk about so beautifully. And that is really marvelous. Thank you to Toastmaster Nisha. So on the Path Presentation Mastery, Level 3, Project 1, Persuasive Speaking is being presented by Toastmaster Abhishek Kumar. Landmines on Digital Landscape. Toastmaster Abhishek Kumar. Toastmaster Abhishek Kumar. Landmines on Digital Landscape. Over to you. Would you like to change the background? Because this may cause some, yes, just sure. Remove the virtual background and put it plain, because this can cause distortion when you're talking. Yes, thank you. Yes, you can start. Are you ready?
Yes, yes.
Yes. Thank you.
Life
Be ready.
Without a smart.
Start.
Life without a smartphone seem insignificant today. Become accessible to us through digital technologies. Smartphones are going to become an even more permanent part of our lifestyle, granting us instant access to an interconnected web of information and social. But in doing, good evening, esteemed Toastmasters and guests. I stand before you tonight to shed light on an issue that has become increasingly prevalent in this digital era. the constant erosion of our attention by our ever-present smartphones. We humans share an innate desire to be connected with people and feel valued by these shared connections. Technology companies have skillfully exploited this intrinsic need for shared connections by keeping us hooked on their products and services, even at the expense of our well-being. There are these services on the internet that we think of as free, but in reality, they come at a cost. We all feel happy with the fact that we don't have to pay for these services, but we seldom investigate to understand who pays the cost and why do they pay these technology companies. Fellow Toastmasters and guests, it is the advertisers who pay these technology companies, and they pay them to reach us, to show their ads to us, our attention being the commodity that this transaction, designing their products and services in such a way to keep us enslaved for longer periods. As a result, millions of us find ourselves hopelessly addicted to these devices, often missing out on real-life experiences and human connection. In the book, The Distraction Addiction, A.S.K. Pang noted that on average, 1 hour per day is spent by most Americans dealing with digital distractions, amounting to a full 5 weeks are constantly seeking to manipulate our choices, beliefs, and behaviors, often without our conscious awareness. Indeed, the older generation are among the privileged few who have borne witness to the rise of this attention cannibalism orchestrated by the technology companies. We have experienced at times the joy of the physical activity, the social interactions, and the nature outdoor. Once, life meant going outside, feeling the warmth of the sun on our face, laughing with our friends and families in person. However, today, the allure of technology can often overpower the call of the great outdoors. As we look around, we cannot help but the entire world is a spiral. Mesmerizing allure of technology have entranced us to accept certain norms and behaviors without questioning their consequences. So let us take a moment to pause and reflect. Together, we can shape a world where human potential is celebrated, where our attention is, fellow Toastmasters and guests. As we try to navigate the landmines of digital landscape, let us explore certain actions that we can integrate in our lifestyle to take hold of our attention. There are some practical everyday life. First, charge your devices outside the bedroom. To avoid the temptation of late night scrolling, charge your device outside the bedroom. Set aside some tech-free blocks. In order to start and end your day mindfully, set aside some time in your evenings and mornings where you do not integrate or indulge with technology interactions. Device-free dinners. Turn dinner into a tech-free affair. Engage with your loved ones by having a conversation, ensuring that gadgets don't intrude on cherished family time. Invest in a traditional time clock. Use a dedicated alarm clock to wake up in the morning and avoid getting sucked up into your phone first thing in the morning. Last but not least, consider going on a digital detox. Inform your friends and families that you will be offline for some days, or consider taking a tech-free vacation to rejuvenate your mind and spirit. Fellow Toastmasters and guests, as we together try to navigate this tricky landscape full of digital landmines, let us not forget that technology in its essence is a tool that empowers and enhances our lifespan, not something that exploits and enslaves us. Over to you, Toastmaster of the Day.
Thank you, Abhishek. We did experience a little problem with the internet, but we could understand the flow of the speech. And so I did not want to disturb you. Even in Toastmasters contest, they say the responsibility of the internet connection lies with the participant. And if the connection gets completely broken, there is a break of 2 minutes given, and then you rejoin. So we could get the gist and the flow of the talk. And of course, whatever came out very well. We could understand that. So I hope, yes, Toastmaster Nisha has written that she has been able to evaluate. So let's go with it. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you for the participation. Really appreciate that. Yes. Now, can we have the timer? Give the timing taken by the two speakers, please.
Speaker 1, Toastmaster Harish Natarajan, took 6 minutes and 2 seconds. And Speaker 2, Toastmaster Abhishek Kumar, took 6 minutes and 10 seconds. Both speakers have qualified for voting. Over to you, Toastmaster of the Day.
Thank you very much. Now we move on to the next interesting section, that is the table topics section, which is handled by the table topics master, Gavel Srishti Kohli. Over to you, Gavel Srishti Kohli.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the Day, Girija Deshpande. Fellow Toastmasters, Gaveliers, and distinguished guests, greetings of the day. One of the most exciting sections of the Toastmasters meetings is the table topics section. The main objective is to help everyone develop impromptu communication skills to effectively think on their feet by answering unrehearsed questions. We encourage members who have not taken up any role in the meeting and the guests to participate in the table topics session. The table topic session is specifically designed to develop 4 essential communication skills. The first is listening, the second is thinking, the third is organizing, and the fourth is speaking. The session trains us to quickly organize and express their thoughts in an impromptu setting. The session trains us on strategies to draw from our experiences in life and present table topics effectively. Today, as your table topics master, I will be asking questions related to the theme of the day, youth. I also encourage you to use the word of the day, that is rejuvenate. I request timer Gavelier Aditya Virlekar to demonstrate the timing.
Thank you, table topics master. For table topic speeches, when the speech touches 1 minute, the screen will turn to The screen will turn to green. At 1 minute 30 seconds, the screen will turn to yellow. And at 2 minutes, the screen will turn to red. 15 seconds on either side is given as a grace period. I will put on Zoom chat the timings taken by each table topic speaker. Thank you, and over to you.
For today's table topic session, each topic has 3 words. Use the 3 words in your table topic speech. Remember, the speech has to center around youth. So let's get started. Who wants to be first?
Come on, somebody opt to be the first table topic speaker.
Toastmaster of the Day, I can see
Someone has
Dwar.
raised the hand.
Okay.
Congratulations for volunteering. Please choose any number from 1 to 5.
I choose 3.
Okay, thank you. Topic number 3. Wild, reckless, carefree verb. Wild, reckless, carefree verb.
Can you repeat it?
Topic 3. Wild, reckless, carefree verb.
Okay. So, like, can you say the instructions again? Because I forgot them.
I can
I
repeat
will
it for you.
repeat it. I
Yeah.
will repeat it as the
Okay.
timer. You need to speak for at least 1 minute,
Okay.
and you can speak for up to 2 minutes on this topic.
Okay.
I will
Yeah.
change the color of my screen to inform you when you are reaching these limits.
Okay.
Wait 1 minute. You have to use these 3 words in your talk. Okay. That's
Okay.
what. Yeah. You
By
repeat
the
the
way,
words once more and then we'll start.
Okay. By the way, it's not verve. It's the last T is silent.
It's
It's
verb?
verve.
Wow.
Yeah.
Nice. Thank you. Yes.
You're welcome. I speak on wild. So, like, I start from a forest. Like, if you're wild nature, or I mean, if you like wild stuff, right? Like wild animals and all. So you would be like, it would be really great for you to go, like, experience the stuff out there, what's in the wild at night and day too. And the main stuff about is that there are many predators there. So you need to be very alert for that. And the main thing is, so if you're endangered by any group of like hyenas or any animal like predator, so you can like carry a gun or something with a guide. So you will be protected by firing it. Then yeah, that's it. Thanks.
Thank you.
That was very nice work. Anyone else who
Thanks.
wants to volunteer?
I can go.
Okay. Congratulations. Congratulations, Toastmaster. Congratulations, Toastmaster Shri Parna Basu for volunteering.
I
Please
have
choose
one
any number.
question.
Okay.
We can take the questions later. The program has to
Yeah.
go on. Yeah. Thank you.
Please choose any number from 1 to 5 except 3.
Yeah, I'll go for 2.
Okay, thank you. Topic number 2 has the 3 words yesterday, today, tomorrow. Shri Parna Basu. Shri Parna Basu, yesterday, today, tomorrow.
Before I start, I'd like to do a video and audio check. I'm clearly audible.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, I'll start. Thank you for the topic. It's quite interesting. So yesterday I would like to say that I don't think I was much of a risk taker when I look back at my life. But then during COVID, I guess I introspected a lot, and I thought it's high time. I was 23 at the time, and I should take a few risks. So I was at the time working as a software developer, but then I was not very happy in the profile. There was not much growth there. So I switched to sales in Byju's. Uh, it was quite a wild ride, but of course, I did end up getting a new skill. And then I realized that I was not very satisfied, and then I took another risk. And because I realized that you need to be satisfied with your job, right? You can't just like hard work does not really compensate for toxicity. So I'm in a role of business analyst and I'm really having a great time. So that brings me to today. I'm satisfied because of the risks that I took yesterday. And tomorrow I look forward to a really better future. And again, pertaining to yesterday,
I have made a lot of mistakes and drawbacks in judgments, and but I've lost a lot of friends. But then again, today I realize that the people who are actually in my life, they're very genuine, and I look forward to having with them with me tomorrow and for all the days to come. And I guess my experience in Toastmasters is also very interesting, and I hope the days to come will stay that way. And I guess that's it. Thank you so much. Thank you. It was a very inspirational and honest speech. I want someone else to volunteer.
Yeah, I'll take out the topic. Toastmaster Sumit.
Congratulations, Toastmaster Sumit, for volunteering. Please choose any number from 1 to 5, except 2 and 3.
Let's go for numero uno. Let's go for 1.
Okay, thank you. Topic number 1 has the 3 words. Challenges, student strategies, Sumit. Challenges, student strategies, Sumit.
My mind goes back to when I was 17. The major challenge in front of me was selecting a career. Career choices in those times were quite limited. You could be a doctor or an engineer. But then there was a third choice, a very different one, a very macho choice to join the armed forces. It was a tough choice, and how tough? For 4 lakh candidates who sit for the NDA exam, only 300 finally make it to the academy. The duration of training being 4 years for all, at the end of one, you would have a doctor in front of your name, a white collar job, money, and comfort. At the end of the other, you would have a lieutenant in front of your name. Not so much of comfort, and definitely not so much of money, but then a satisfaction of a very different kind. I made my choice. The challenge was set. I strategized and dived deeply into my preparation. I ate, drank, and slept the National Defense Academy in those days, and the perseverance was rewarded. At the end of that year, I walked into the hallowed portals of the National Defense Academy and into a very, very challenging 4 years. Now, at the end of those 4 years, when I look back as a student, having converted myself into a young officer into the Indian Armed Forces, did I feel satisfied? Yes. Why did I do so? Because I took a decision. I held on to that decision. Come come hell or high water, I stuck onto it, challenged myself, strategized throughout the process, and then emerged victorious. Thank you. Back to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sumit. It was really a motivational speech. Anyone who wants to volunteer for the next?
Could you like volunteer like twice?
Yeah.
Oh.
So put the next,
I can
yeah.
volunteer.
Kashvi, who's speaking? I'll volunteer.
Anika.
Anika, yes. Okay, Anika. Yes.
Congratulations, Anika, for volunteering. Please choose any number from 1 to 5, except 1, 2, and 3.
Number 4.
Okay, thank you. Topic number 4 has the following 3 words. Values, role, models, Anika. Anika, values, role, models.
I would go with the topic models. So we all have different models in our lives. We'll always look up to someone. And for me, especially since last year, I've been looking up to many singers, especially South Korean. So I look up to a boy band named BTS, which I am pretty sure everyone's well versed with. So the main reason why I look up to BTS, which are also known as Bangtan Boys, I look up to them because they're very hard work and dedicated. They are working day and night. If you know, since 2013, we used to all sleep together in one room, and they did not used to have a lot of money. And if you look at them now, they are one of the most globalized boy band in the entire world. They are one of the richest. We also know that they have unity and friendship. Jungkook is a member, and he joined when he was just a teenager. And all the members had showed such a unity and friendship together to raise him up. We have on another, which is responsibility. Uh, Jin, the oldest member, he also used to cook for all the members and feed them properly because all of them were underage and none of them had the experience because they were all living alone. So, as looking up to them, I believe that we can have models for many subjects, but models will always teach you some morals which you have to follow and which you can follow in your daily life, which you can live by.
Thank you.
Thank you, Anika. That was very nice.
Thank you,
Um,
Srishti. I think we'll close the session. The time is up. So you can wind up the session and then we move on to the next. Thank you so much. It was well on time. Well conducted.
Thank you for the great table topic speeches. Over to you, Toastmaster of the Day.
Thank you, Toastmaster Srishti. It was a wonderful session and thank you for all the participants too. Now, may I have the timekeeper put the time on the chat? And I also will conduct the polls before we move on to the next session. As per the advice from the general evaluator, I'm launching the poll for the prepared speeches section. Please cast your votes quickly. There are two speakers. Choice 1 is Harish Natarajan. Choice 2 is Abhishek Kumar. In the meantime, did all the table topic speakers qualify for the timing?
Yes, all have qualified.
Okay. You can put the time on the chat, but we will go ahead with the poll. Thank you so much. Yeah. So please cast your vote. Okay. Thank you. We got all the votes. So it's really funny. I will share with you later. The next poll, table topic session. We have all the speakers mentioned here. Please vote for the best speaker. One more vote remaining. Okay, I'll end the poll now. Okay. The results will be declared at the end. And now we move on to the speech evaluation section and I hand over the section to our general evaluator, Toastmaster Atul Srivastava. Over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the Day, Toastmaster Girija. I have been enjoying the meeting so very much so far. Wonderful to listen to young boys and girls and emulating the elders, the elder Toastmasters. Friends, as I mentioned, that we as speakers don't pick up our own areas of improvement, our own strengths to help assess the performance of our speakers, particularly the prepared speakers. I invite the first evaluator, Colonel Toastmaster Sumit Arya, to please come forward and evaluate the first speaker's speech, that was Toastmaster Harish Natral. Please welcome Toastmaster Colonel Sumit.
Thank you so much, General Evaluator. Thank you so much. Time being short, I will go straight into the topic. Now, Harish, let me come up with the things which you excelled at. Firstly, you started with a quote and emphasized upon it during your speech with another one. That was very nice, very nicely quoted. So it was a very good point that you earned there. Secondly, your description of the mentor was very good. I mean, it was very well articulated. Prim and trim, in sari or suit, clear booming voice, a beacon of wisdom. I could myself imagine your mentor. That mental picture that you painted, that you weaved with your words, was very nice. So kudos on that. The space available to you is limited, in an online session, and with that much of space itself, you utilized it well, moving ahead and back and moving side to side. So these were very good points, and very well done as far as these things are concerned. Kudos to you. Now, some of the points that you might like to work upon, since this is the Toastmasters says, a constructive criticism is required. See, repetitive hand gestures which are not connected with what you're speaking can be, distracting and even disconcerting. So you may like to work on that your hand gestures should be in tune, aligned with what you're speaking. That could be one. uh, Voice modulation, maybe you can work on a bit. And lastly, this is a point which I emphasize on in multiple times. The listeners are investing 5 to 7 minutes, when they're listening to you. There has to be a takeaway. There has to be a what is in it for me. Maybe you can work on that. That there has to be some lesson which has to be drawn out, something which the speaker takes, which the listener takes away at the end of the speech. So a small challenge that maybe I can put to you to work on going ahead. Maybe you can rethink your conclusion, how you can round up the entire speech to work out on a conclusion which has a takeaway for the listener. Otherwise, I would say a very good effort and a very good speech, very well articulated, very well delivered. And what I would also say, that you had clarity of thought, a very good comfort level with the audience, and you were able to maintain eye contact. Thank you. Back to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sumit, for
Thank you.
wonderfully evaluating his speech. The second speaker was Toastmaster Abhishek, and may I request his evaluator, Madam Toastmaster Nisha, to come forward and evaluate the second speech.
Thank you, G. First of all, congratulations to the speaker for having made that effort to complete the speech. I will just tell you about what are the things which I felt went very well and what are the things which you could improve upon. Now, first of all, the topic of digital addictions is a very relevant one. So very good for picking up a topic which was very relevant and which everybody could relate to. Secondly, I saw a very confident speaker within you. You were quite confident the way you were standing, and appreciate the fact that it's not easy to give a speech standing. So you were actually standing, you were very comfortable with gestures and everything. Your body language was very good. You were able to engage the audience with the way you were talking. So you were talking in a very timed manner, and you were not rushing with the speech. You used excellent usage of words like mesmerizing, entranced, rejuvenation. So the quality of your speech, the way you had written it, was really commendable, was very good. So an excellent effort from your end, an attempt was really good in terms of what you wanted to convey. Now, coming to what could have been improved in the speech, first and most important, I would say you were a little unfortunate in terms of the line connection. The network was really patchy, because of which your speech actually got compromised to some extent. We were unable to hear you in various portions. Secondly, your hand gestures were actually closed. We never give a speech closed. You should always have your, hand gestures like this. So that is something which you can concentrate upon. Also, somewhere I thought the speech had a similar or a monotony way of delivering. There was no voice modulation which you could have used differently when you were asking questions or things like that. So voice modulation could have been used better. Also, what I felt is the purpose of the speech was to understand the types of persuasive speeches and deliver a persuasive speech to the audience. Now, in this topic that you took, I thought you could have added more questions. You could have engaged the audience more to persuade the audience towards this digital addiction that people have. So somewhere there, I thought it was a bit lacking to bring in that punch, bring in that persuasion. All in all, a great attempt. That to conclude, I would say the topic chosen was very good and relevant. You had a very confident demeanor while speaking with excellent choice of words. However, you can work more on making the speech more persuasive and more convincing, supported with good voice modulation and appropriate gestures. This could have made the speech much more compelling. I could have made the audience sit up and take notice and would have taken the speech to a much higher level. So all the very best for future speeches. Thank you. Over to you, Jean.
Thank you, Toastmaster. Both the Toastmasters gave a very rejuvenating assessment of the prepared speeches. Please give a big round of applause to both our evaluators. Now I invite help from our tag team. May I request the timer, Cavalier Aditya, to come forward and give us the specific time consumed by each speaker, both in prepared as well as table topics rounds. Toastmaster, the Cavalier Aditya.
In the table topic rounds, Gavelier Gaurav took 1 minute and 0 seconds exactly. Toastmaster Sripadna Basu took 1 minute 57 seconds. Toastmaster Sumit Arya took 2 minutes and 4 seconds. And finally, Gavelier Anika Kohli took 1 minute and 48 seconds. All speakers have qualified in the table topics.
He was asking about the speech evaluators, the two speech evaluators.
The evaluators, yes.
I was about to get there.
Yeah.
For the speech evaluators, Toastmaster Sumit Arya took 2 minutes and 33 seconds, and Toastmaster Nisha took 3 minutes and 10 seconds.
Thank you.
Thank you, Toast Cavalier Aditya, for your specific report on timing. So I understand both the evaluators are also qualified for voting.
Yes. So can we launch the poll? I will just launch the poll. Yes.
Yes, you can do that.
Yeah, just a minute. Please. Sorry, instead of Sambhav Gupta, it is Toastmaster Sumit Arya. Sumit Arya is the first one.
Yes. So, yeah, first evaluator is Sumit by typo.
Yeah.
Error.
No, the earlier one was Sambhav Gupta, so he just dropped
Okay.
out at the last minute. So I forgot to change it. Thank you.
Okay. Problem.
So it is Toastmaster Sumit Arya and Toastmaster Nisha Sanjeev. Yes.
Yeah.
So please, some more votes. It's like all the time we are having ties. So please vote. All of you vote. 3 more votes. At least 2 more votes should come because I cannot vote. Yes. Okay. Okay. So.
Okay. Thank you, timer, for your report. Now I request Cavalier time counter, Cavalier Risha, to please come forward and present her report as an counter.
Thank you, Toastmaster Atul Srivastava. In my R-Counter report, SAA Sergeant at Arms Sarah Verlager said one time and maybe once. I myself used but 2 times and so 2 times. Toastmaster, Toastmaster of the Day Girija Deshpande used 2 times and once. Timer Aditya Verlaker used once. Grammarian Renault Thomas used once. Speaker Harish Natarajan and Speaker
Kumar.
Abhishek Kumar didn't use any of the filler phrases or filler words, so congratulations. Our table topic speaker were used 2 times and but 2 times. Our second table topics speaker, Toastmaster Shri Parna Vasu, used 6 times. Table topics speaker 3, Toastmaster Sumit Arya, who will also count as evaluator 1, used 4 times. And table topic speaker Anika Kohli used 2 times. We all can rejuvenate our communication skills and next time not use these phrase fillers or phrase words. Thank you.
Thank you, Cavalier Prisha, for a detailed report as an counter. Now I invite our grammarian, Toastmaster, distinguished Toastmaster Rinos, to come forward with his report as a grammar.
Thank you, General Evaluator. Greetings to everyone present in this meeting. Let me present to you the word of the day that has been used today. I would have loved that we could make records today because I believe, if I'm not wrong, we have around 58% of the audience as Gaveliers. So yeah, we are all young. But I'm sharing you the screen here today to make my report easy and within the time. We had the general evaluator who used the word of the day the most. So Toastmaster Atul has used the word of the day 4 times. We had the evaluator Toastmaster Sumit, our second speaker Toastmaster Abhishek, and the Gavelier Prisha, who has used the word of the day once. Some of the phrases and quotes that I have noticed. We had the first speaker, Toastmaster Harish, who used phrases like beacon of wisdom, a catalyst to propel growth. One quote that he used, when a student is ready, the teacher emerges. Table topic commentator, Toastmaster Sri Parna, had used a phrase, hard work does not compensate for toxicity. And evaluator 1, Toastmaster Sumit, had used good phrases, dive into preparation and weaving of words. There was one sentence that had to be probably modified in a better way, was a speech had a monotony way, could be corrected as speech had a monotonous way, or a speech had a monotonous manner of so and so. With that, I conclude my report. Over to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you, Toastmaster Rinos, for a wonderfully concise report to the point. I request the audience to give a big round of applause to my tag team for very, very rejuvenating and fruitful reports. Now, friends,
Shall we launch the polls for the tag team? And then we'll start? Yes. Thank you.
Yes, please.
Grammarian, again, the name is different. It is Ranosh Thomas. It was changed at the last minute. Our counter Prisha Chu, and timer is Aditya Verlaker. Okay. Excellent. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Now, friends, it is my turn to sum up the entire meeting, the way it went. At the outset, I must congratulate everyone who participated, including the audience, for their attentive listening. The whole meeting went flawlessly and to the enjoyment of everyone. Since it was a joint meeting for the Eloquent Elites Toastmaster Club and Eloquent Elites Gavel Club, I was myself, kind of enjoying my confusion when to pronounce Gavalier and when to pronounce Toastmaster. So, sometimes Gavalier, sometimes Toastmasters. So I was enjoying it in my interruptions from time to time. But it was a good fun to have a joint meeting of seniors and juniors, and both the sections had wonderful participation. The Sergeant at Arms, Gavalier Sarah, has very appropriately opened the meeting to the requirements as a Sergeant at Arms. One milestone, which is what Toastmasters teaches us, managing the crisis. And Toastmaster Girija Deshpande has very, very aptly managed the crisis because the presiding officer who was originally assigned to Dr. Sukanya Iyer, due to some emergency, she could not turn up, and our Toastmaster of the day wore the dual hats, and she very, very nicely presided over the meeting. Only one thing she could have done additionally, she might have checked if any guests are there, and she might have asked them to introduce themselves, if at all there were any guests. I'm not sure. There were no guests. Okay, that's why she did not invite the guests to speak and introduce themselves. So very well done, Presiding Officer Girija. And again, Presiding Officer Girija, who took the role of TMoD, she engaged each and every speaker, one way or the other, to talk on the youth, energy, and synergy, the theme of the day, which was very, very appropriate to the meeting. Well, then the prepared speech session went very well. The two speakers, Toastmaster Harish and Toastmaster Abhishek, had spoken well on their respective speeches, and their strengths and areas of improvement have been very, very prominently highlighted by their evaluators, respectively, Toastmaster Sumit and Toastmaster Abhishek. I just want to add a couple of my observations, which might have been missed out by the evaluators. It is always good for an evaluator to also speak what caught the attention, what were the strongest points about the speaker. So one sentence which Toastmaster Harish spoke caught my attention, and I like it very much. He said, when a student is ready, the teacher emerges. That was a phenomenal statement. That was like a divine statement. When a student is ready, the teacher emerges. So it is always good for an evaluator to pick up some good phrases and something good about the speech so that it adds to the motivation of the speak. And the second thing I liked, that my teacher provided me a safe environment. That is also what brought me as a listener very close to the speaker. Toastmaster Sumit had mentioned very aptly, very rightly and appropriately that Toastmaster Harish had a very good eye contact, which I agree. But to me, it appeared that his eye contact was focused towards his own image. When we start looking at our own image on the screen, then we are probably making an eye contact with our own self. So it is always good to look at the camera which is next to the lighted point on our PC or on mobile. So if you really want the audience to feel that you are speaking to the audience, always speak at the camera, not at yourself on the screen, because though it looks like you are making contact with somebody, it is actually not. You have to look at the camera at the next to the lighted point. The second speaker was Abhishek, and you know what struck the best about his speech is the title itself, The Landmines on the Digital Landscape. Wonderful speech after a long, wonderful speech title. It is very, very nice speech title, and everything that he evaluator mentioned is good. I have nothing much to add except one thing, that Toastmaster Abhishek was mostly standing at one place. So he had a very wide background, prominently marked by the curtain. He should have made some movement left and right. So that is what caught my attention. I thought to mention about that. Table topics master. Gavel Srishti did a wonderful job. She had selection of 3 words, table topics. Some people spoke on all of them. Some people spoke on some of them. And the topics were so easy and yet so much thought provoking that everyone spoke very well. All the 4 speakers spoke very well, and we always have learning from the table topics masters. So, table topic speakers. So, well done, Toastmaster the Gavalier Srishti, and various speakers in the table topic session. The 2 evaluators I have already mentioned did a wonderful job, and their evaluations were very, very motivating. The meeting started almost on the dot, 2 minutes this way and that way because of the original presiding officer not coming is okay. 5 minutes this way and that way is well accepted. Overall, the meeting was excellent. It was apt to the synergy and energy of the 2 clubs together. I thoroughly enjoyed the meeting, and I hope all of you had a rejuvenating experience attending this meeting. With these words, I hand it over to the Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Girija.
Thank you very much for a rejuvenating experience. You have been conducting the entire session beautifully. And thank you for every Toastmaster and Gavalier who made it who propped up the energy and brought in the synergy during the meeting. So thank you so much. And now I'll just launch the poll for the final part. That is there are 2 more. One is for the overall experience. This we introduced this time, Sergeant at Arms and the Zoom Master. So please vote. Yes. Thank you so much. I'll end the poll now. Okay. Now moving back to the next poll. It is on the primary role players. That is between the Toastmaster of the day, the general evaluator, and the table topics master. Please cast your vote. Only 12 votes have come out of 16. So I request the others also, please cast your votes quickly. Yes, I'll wait for a single minute. Then I'll go ahead. Please cast your votes. Only 13 have come in. 14. 1 more. 2 more. Okay. So I'll end the poll now. 14 out of 16 have come in. Can anybody vote? Anybody who has left? Quickly, please. There is tie again. Just a minute, otherwise we'll hand it over to 2 people. Thank you. Okay. So I'll just share the results. We can view the results of everything. So the prepared speeches section, you'll be surprised. Both the speakers got equal votes. Thank you. Congratulations to both the speakers. Did a wonderful job. Next, you see the results of the table topic session. Gavel Anika Kohli got the maximum votes. Congratulations, Anika. Thank you so much for beautiful participation. The speech evaluation session, we have got Toastmaster Sumit Arya, who is getting the Colonel Sumit Arya, getting the maximum number of votes. Thank you. Congratulations. And auxiliary meeting roles, grammarian Reynolds Thomas, distinguished Toastmaster Reynolds Thomas gets a maximum number of votes. You can see that here, right? Are you all able to see the votes? No? Okay. So I will, when I say view results, I should also share results. Okay, fine. So you can here see both of them getting it. Fine. And now we go back to this table topic session. Okay. I'm not able to share the results. Okay, already I showed you. So it's not, okay, sharing the results is not happening. I don't know why. Okay. Suddenly it has a problem. Speech evaluation session, maximum votes came for Toastmaster Sumit Arya. Okay. So maybe this now I will be able to share now. Yes. Okay. You can see that table topic session. So going back, you can see, yes. Here you see auxiliary meeting roles. Grammarian gets a maximum results, maximum votes. And then overall experience again, you can see here. 1 minute. Can you see? So Toastmaster Gavel Sarah Verlaker gets a maximum votes today. And primary role players, you can see here, there is a tie. Table topics master Gavel Srishti Kohli and general evaluator Toastmaster Atul Srivastava. Both get it. So here is a result. Thank you so much. I will share the certificates with the individual winners. As at the last minute there were changes, I will just make the changes and share it with the individual winners and also the group. In the meantime, let me just share with you the closing part of this particular topic. There was a poem that really inspired me. And this was a poem that was appreciated by General Douglas MacArthur, who facilitated Ullman's popularity as a poet. He used to hang it. He was a commander of the Supreme Allied Forces in Japan. And he used to hang this poem in his office. And this poem was written by Samuel Ullman, American poet. So the poem says this: youth is not a time of life. It is a state of mind. It is not a matter of rosy cheeks, red lips, and supple knees. It is a matter of the will, a quality of imagination, vigor of the emotions. It is the freshness of the deep spring of life. Youth means a temperamental predominance of courage over timidity, of the appetite for adventure over the love of ease. This often exists in a man of 60 more than a boy of 20. Nobody grows merely by the number of years. We grow old by deserting our ideas. Years may wrinkle the skin, but to give up enthusiasm wrinkles the soul. Worry, fear, self-distrust bows the heart and turns the spirit back to dust. Whether 60 or 16, There is in every human being's heart the lure of wonders, the unfailing childlike appetite of what is next, and the joy of the game of living. In the center of your heart and my heart, there is a wireless station. So long as it receives messages of beauty, hope, cheer, courage, and power from men and from infinite forces, so long you are young. When the aerials are down and your spirit is covered with the snow of cynicism and the ice of pessimism, then you've grown old, even at 20. But as long as your aerials are up to catch the waves of optimism, there is hope you may die young at age 80. Youth is not a time of life, it is a state of mind. It is a matter of the will, a quality of imagination, vigor of the emotions. It is the freshness of this deep spring of life. These are what I have and what we have at this period of life. So I am still young. Yes, definitely. Come on, my dear fellow friends. Show your energy and passion to this goddamn world. Let the universe hear our voice, seek our cheek, see our cheek, hug our enthusiasm, and witness our maturity. We are going to create a brand new future. With this, I adjourn the meeting. Over to you for discussion. Thank you so much. Any feedback, anything you would like to have?
One small quote before I leave,
Yes.
and this is how it goes: that age is an issue of mind over matter. If you
Right.
don't mind, it doesn't matter.
If you don't mind, it doesn't matter. Absolutely. Very true.
Thank you so much. I really enjoyed it. It was a very, very invigorating meeting, and my heartfelt compliments to all the Cavaliers. The first time I attended a meeting in this sort of a format, very, very encouraging, and wishing all the Cavaliers all the very best in the times to come. Thank you. Really enjoyed it. Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much.
I'm just sharing the certificates here online. You can see the certificates of appreciation for people who have come from other clubs and still helped us. So that is General Evaluator Atul Srivastava, Distinguished Toastmaster Renosh Thomas, and Colonel Sumit Arya for being here. And for the best role, Gavelier, best table topic speech, Gavelier Prisha Chu, and then the best speech evaluation, Colonel Sumit Arya. Then best auxiliary role as grammarian, Renosh Thomas, Distinguished Toastmaster. Best meeting experience, Sarah Verlekar. And then the next one is best primary role as speech evaluator. You've got Atul Srivastava and Srishti Kohli. And then you've got, the best speaker is Abhishek Kumar and Harish Nadrajan. As I've shared, both of them got equal votes and did a wonderful job. Thank you very much and look forward to the next meeting. And thank you for a wonderful support from all of you at the last minute. Thanks a lot. Indebted to you forever. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
So I'll just stop the recording.